This week on Dumb Pitches, my guest is Bri Pruett, and this episode is chomplicated. Full of very silly ideas, but all useful. All useful. Well, what if something's too hard to eat? What if you need to express a different feeling from your car horn? Is there an app for witches? So many questions, so many answers. Here we go. Dumb Pitches.
What a bunch of dumb pitches. Oh my goodness.
Welcome to another episode of Dumb Pitches with Monica Nevi. I'm Monica Nevi, your host. This is the show where we talk to successful people about their worst ideas or silliest ideas. It's really fun. And our guest today is really fun too. One of my favorite people, Bri Pruett, is here. Yay.
Hello. So glad to join you, Monica. I am full of ideas.
Perfect.
And I think they're great, but in a different context, who knows? And that's kind of what I wait in judgment, because you've heard it all.
We have heard a lot of different types of things, to be honest, especially at this point. But I like the idea because even if it is a good idea, you still have to pitch it to somebody, and there's a fair chance you never know how they're going to take it. So I think it's going to work out perfectly today. We do like to start by giving your good ideas of what, people already know you fit that successful category.
Sure.
And so Bri Pruett, hilarious stand-up comedian. You were on Comedy Central for Roast Battle. You've been on NPR. You did a TED Talk, which was great. I really enjoyed your TED Talk. Is that weird?
Thank you.
I loved it. You have a podcast called You Can Do It with Bri Pruett. It's wonderful. And I did an episode if you want to check it out, and that'll get you started. And then you're already listening to a podcast. You might as well find more podcasts, You also run comedy shows. You've done a show in LA called High Priestess, Crane's Comedy, Cult Comedy Show. You're just all over. You got all these ideas and you do it. And I love it. And you're also just one of my favorite people. So I'm happy.
Thanks, Mon.
You're here, and people know she's done some good stuff.
I mean, I also got to plug my Third Wheel collab project, which is I Never Get to Wear This, which is a comedy event / fashion promenade. And people can wear comics, and the audience are invited to wear a look. And then we celebrate that look. And just wear something that's in your closet that you never get to trot out.
So you're gonna keep doing that? I thought that was just like a Halloween show.
No, it is my child. I've always wanted to do this. So the next one is November 20th.
That's awesome. Okay, well, next time I'm there, I'm gonna have to see if you're doing one, because then that'd be fun.
Yeah, what would you wear? What would you wear to I Never Get to Wear This?
Well, I mean, to be honest, my first thought is that I have so many basketball jerseys. And
That's what I'm saying.
I've gone through my head of like, do I start wearing these again? Because when I was in high school, it was like the jersey dress time. Like it was a popular thing to wear basketball jerseys. And I have a ton of like really expensive, nice jerseys. And I'm like, I can't get rid of these. And I think it's maybe starting to come back. So I've like thought about it a few times, like maybe I should just wear one of my jerseys, but this would be a perfect opportunity to do that.
I want that to happen. We're doing a sportswear edition.
Oh, hell yeah.
Call manifesting.
Nice. Okay, yeah. Perfect. Okay. Well, there you go. See, you're just full of great ideas like this. All right. So let's see. I gave you the criteria, kind of. Do you have some, I guess, ideas you haven't actually made yet? I feel like you've been following through on a lot of these things, which is great. But
no, I smoke a lot of weed. They're coming to me all the time. You know what I mean?
Yes, which is our favorite.
When you smoke weed and you are an adult and you journal,
the stuff
I got ideas coming out of my ears. Okay. So one, are you ready?
Oh, I'm so ready. Yeah.
Okay. One that is burning a hole in my brain, in ears. It's like, okay, so what it is it's a branding phrase. It's a phrase. Okay. It's a new vernacular. And the phrase is it's chomplicated.
It's chomplicated?
It's chomplicated.
Okay.
It's the words chomp and complicated combined. And it's to describe something that's kind of hard to eat, you know?
Okay.
Kind of difficult to eat. It's too complicated.
It's too I don't like a baguette.
Maybe like a double-decker tostada.
Okay. That's too
complicated.
It's too complicated for me. And where
maybe a huge burger. It's too complicated.
People do that a lot. That's like, oh, it's the heart attack burger or whatever. And you're like, I can't eat that. It's too complicated.
It's too complicated.
Okay. Do you use it? You just use it as a phrase, or is it, are you putting it on things? Is it a t-shirt?
So I think the Taco Bell organization could do great things with It's Complicated.
Absolutely.
And it's not, complicated is just a word. It's Complicated is really the branding phrase. And I think it would be like a Valentine's campaign.
Okay. All right.
And it's like speaking to the moment where, it is complicated at Valentine's.
And everybody's talking about it,
And you're chomping on tacos.
When it's the whole thing of being like either, well, you're single on Valentine's Day, so then you're upset about it, and then maybe you're like, okay, I'll find some solace in some Taco Bell. That's perfect.
It's sort of that funny Taco Bell thing, like
yes.
a fourth meal, like, oh, are you alone on Valentine's Day? Like that kind of funny, Taco Bell commentary.
I will say, if you pitch this to them, you have to let us know, because otherwise we'll know that they stole it from this show.
I think it's a bad idea, and they won't actually hear the pitch.
But I feel like you at least have the correct direction of, you know what I mean? Like if you were like, oh, it's complicated for Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, like even though the word probably pertains, they're like, no, we're supposed to be classy,
Certainly steaks are an incredibly complicated food.
Right. That would be where it's supposed to be.
A variety of textures, and it's incredibly complicated. You got bones in there. Nothing's more complicated than bones.
Cut around. You don't know if you're gonna get fat or it's complicated.
So Ruth's Chris is definitely, you're right, not the right energy for It's Complicated. It's got to be like a Taco Bell, something kind of goofy, right? Quiznos maybe.
Okay, does Quiznos have some fun? I don't know what they're up to. What's Quiznos up to?
I just think, sandwich brands are having fun.
That's true. Well, and because the sandwich itself, you can only do so many things with.
It's fanciful.
It feels like, yes. So you're like,
it's fast casual.
We got to do something different. I will say, though, Quiznos is a good example because I don't like hard bread. And that happens when you toast it sometimes. The outside, it gets like a baguette feel to it on the outside, and that becomes rather complicated. It's pointy. It could be sharp. This is a sharp sandwich. I don't want my sandwiches to be sharp.
Hearing you use the word complicated with a straight face is so satisfying.
I think it works.
I don't care if Taco Bell gets involved. I feel like it's already
good now that
it's already getting out there. Especially through this podcast, like it can be a people's movement. It doesn't need to be a corporate.
We're starting it right here. We want to we can practice in the comments if you guys need to work it out. Give us some examples of what a complicated food would be.
I mean, you could go on and on. Like a bagel sandwich.
Yes.
Most bagel sandwiches, it's wildly complicated.
And they squeeze out of the sides. Anything that's messy, which
garden burgers
really plays into the relationship part of it, because it's like it is messy when it's complicated, and so is the food when it's
just an evocative kind of moment,
Yes.
Comparing food to relationships. I'm not reinventing the wheel.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, here we
go. Kathy cartoons have existed.
That food and relationships have existed. They've been compared. Okay, we get it.
Yeah. Chocolate, I'm lonely, blah, blah, blah. Cats, wine, wine, wine.
Ladies. It's complicated. I mean, that could be, you might have a little fight there because that is fun for like a Taco Bell or somebody like that. Or do you go that route of like, you're a lonely lady, buy this chocolate brand because your Valentine's Day is complicated?
Yeah, that's emotional. That's actually like predatory to me. Like I would never.
Gaslighting, I would say, but
No,
we can't act like brands haven't done that before or whatever.
Oh, certainly not. That's very Don Draper. We hate single women.
Yeah. What's wrong with you? Why are you single? Yeah, exactly. All right. What? Okay. I like that one. It is. I'm gonna be honest with you. As a pitch, I've already bought in. You have my bid on Shark Tank for this one.
Wow. Okay. But, well, that's the thing. It's hard to buy what does not own. I don't own it. I did invent it, but it's not patented. It's free.
I'll say it's added to my vocabulary, and I will give you credit every time I use it.
Great.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any more bad ideas. I thought I did, but my other idea is also good. You'll like it.
If you liked that one, then you're really gonna like this one. Well, give it. It's okay. I'm not here to be disappointed. We're just here to be entertained.
Well, I better not mention it also because the reason I'm thinking of it is an idea that I've had for a long time, but I just heard a friend of mine has a joke about a very similar concept. But it's the idea that a horn should have two different sounds of a car, a horn of a car.
Oh.
Horn of a car should also say like wah wah, and it should be a very you know what it could be a fart. It could be something that is embarrassing, and the idea is I fucked up.
Oh, I see. Okay, so one is like aggressor, I'm mad at you because you fucked up. The other one is like, sorry, I'm a fart.
I mean, or there just needs to be another form of communication out there on the road. You know what I mean? And I don't know what it is, guys. And you know what? For our non-hearing friends, maybe it doesn't need to be auditory. There just needs to be a signal that's like, hey, or like, sorry.
Right. Horns are pretty aggressive. And then because we are used to them being like an aggressive sound, when they are higher pitched, it sounds silly. But that's like, it sounds like a little kid being like, hey, let me play. And then you feel bad for the person in that car because you're like, I know you're mad, but you can't express it.
I have a very silly sounding horn. Really? I sound like a fucking fool out here. Sorry if I'm swearing.
No, you can swear.
I sound like I sound like a child on the road. And I drive a Prius,
Hey, mister. Yeah, I was going to say the Prius horn is what I thought of initially. I didn't know you drove one, but that's...
Oh, they're pathetic cars. I mean, they're truly, they lack, they're the most Canadian looking car. No disrespect to my Canadian friends. Just looks like a polite ass ride,
Yeah. And then the horn doesn't make it sound any better because you're like, maybe this big Canadian dude, gets tough sometimes. And then you're like, nope, it fits perfectly.
I don't smoke pot when I drive. I smoke all other times, but not when I'm behind the wheel.
Or after, yeah.
And so when I'm like camping or something and I'm in my Prius smoking pot, it's like it truly looks so bizarre. I like no one should be doing anything cool in a Prius at all. You should be
like, somebody's mom's hiding.
Just commute and pay your taxes in the Prius
and worry about the environment. That's what you're supposed to do.
And apologize.
Yeah. So the Prius horn kind of does sound like an apology, but
there should be the Prius horn should just be across all cars. Like if you have an F-250, you should also have a Prius horn. That's like, no.
If I was a car manufacturer, I would do that just because that's hilarious. Like the guy who buys the big truck that's like, I'm going to put my flag on the back or whatever. And then he's like, beep, beep. Like, it's great. That's what you get. Yeah,
we need some revenge truck accessories for sure.
Absolutely.
I also have this other thing that I do. It's kind of like, it's like my cunty ironic apology when I'm like driving in an aggressive way. If I'm like in front of someone, I give them a little wave and I make sure to do my fingies like that.
Give a little jazz hand on the way out.
Excuse me.
Spirit
Oh,
fingers.
thank you. Like you didn't actually have a choice, but thank you so much.
You're like, thank you for letting me cut you off.
Yeah.
So yeah, what sound gives that same energy?
Yeah. Thank you. It's like a little baby voice that says thank you.
You're right. Yeah. So you need like a deeper aggressive horn.
Yeah.
And then the like,
thank you.
I mean that sound, that exact voice you're doing kind of sounds like a horn too, you know?
Yeah,
and
it kind of sounds
it
like
could just say thank you.
yeah, it kind of sounds like the way a Korean robot would say thank you, you know, and that's who, you know, what many of the car design, you know.
That's true. Yeah.
Have you ever seen like car factories now?
Yes.
The way they're like bing 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 bong bing 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 bong, and that's just like what it says, and then like this car part flies by.
I was gonna say,
you know what I mean?
Just like parts going everywhere and like arms of
just like
machines.
Beautiful, clean IKEA looking like Asian factories. You know?
Yeah, they know about sound effects.
They know about sound effects. So like, thank you is like not out of the realm.
I feel like that everyone's car would be like, I'm just a rude white girl getting through here. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Shit. Okay. I mean, I think the necessity is there for sure of needing a different sound. Yeah. I think the specific sound we've come up with.
What's going to happen? Are we just going to be able to like DM other cars?
That would be interesting.
Because they'll be auto drive, you know?
You're right.
But then it won't be like, I guess is road rage not going to exist because everybody will be auto driving?
I was going to say you could still be mad, but you wouldn't actually do anything about it, right? Unless the car starts picking up your energy.
DM like, your car's a fucking asshole.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, it's not me. I don't know what to tell you.
Your fucking Tesla is a fucking dick.
Well, we had, Beth Stelling was on, and she was talking about the Tesla like senses things, you know, and she had one, but people they would go like this on purpose, so the car would like jerk sideways, and so she got rid of it because it was like people would like mess with it all the time. And so I would imagine, first of all, as human beings, for some reason lately we just can't have nice things. So even though it's like, oh, you could have an auto driving cars, it's like, we'll fuck it up somehow.
We hate robots a lot.
That is
we're
true.
Gonna have it's so fucking predictable that we're going to have like a bunch of Clint Eastwood oldos that are like, fucking robots, they're taking our jobs, man.
You're like, yeah. Do you want
when I see those Amazon delivery robots on the street, I kick them over. I shoot them with my gun. There's going to be a fucking law. Amazon's gonna pass a law that you can't destroy a robot
for sure, and then
the police are gonna be like, cool, we're all robots now.
Right, that's true. And then they'll be like, we only stand up for the robots, so we just shoot all the humans. And then you go over to your grandpa's house and he's got a bunch of robots like tied up in his garage or whatever.
Okay, the bad idea is civilization, I guess. Twist.
Yeah, that we just keep going. We are the bad idea. It's very meta. It's
Did you guys see the last episode of Monica's podcast?
Yes. And they just shut off because all the cameras in there turned on them. Yeah.
Yeah.
They are around. They're listening to us, obviously.
Always.
Yeah. I don't I mean, is this off topic? I don't know. It doesn't bother me. Is that
the listening?
Or, you know what I mean? Like, people were like, oh, yeah, I guess that is it. Or just they're tracking you, or they're analyzing all your moves. And it's like,
the marketing part I like. I like getting commercials that are specific to me.
Yeah, it's better than it used before when it wasn't. You're like, why would I need this? I had to, you watch late night TV and you're like, this is all for sex phone calls or like catheters or whatever.
I've never watched. Yeah, I haven't watched late night TV in 15 years, but I know exactly what you mean. Right. But now I'm like on Instagram and it's like, wow, instead of ads for clothes that I don't fit in, it's only clothes that I do fit in. Yeah. And why would I? So instead, I would be, instead of feeling like, hell yeah, instead of feeling like, why don't you fit in these clothes? It's like, oh, here's exactly what you want, and it's way easier for me to spend money.
Right.
That sounds like the free market working a little.
And it's a deal, you know? And then, yeah, of course, you click one thing and you're like, well, you were right. But now here's all these other things that I also like.
But it's good to be aware that, yeah, a lot of these companies are just making money from your data, like the fucking stocks app that I was using. Like, I'm not going to use that fucking app anymore.
Which one?
Robinhood.
Oh, right. Yes.
We know what they're doing.
Yeah. Don't use it. Now we said it and it's going to like pop up on our phones. But I don't know. Yeah, people get real worked up by that. But I'm like, I also don't think it's new. I think they've been trying to figure things out. And I mean, that's the whole point of marketing, I think, is to be like, what's actually going to work and not for a long time. So they have my data, I think. You know, like I should care more maybe, but
I mean, it's just really complicated, you know, and like, is it complicated?
Is it complicated?
No, because there's no eating involved at all.
No, it's not a food.
But if you look at privacy policies like they have in the UK now and Europe, they're really intense. Like, you know, it probably would behoove us to understand that a little bit more.
Yeah, I think that's
Man, this is a really interesting chat.
We get, you know,
we go deep. It's a Scorpio new moon.
Oh yeah. Are you Scorpio?
Okay, here's a bad idea.
Okay.
What about a college to teach astrology to boys? Just kidding.
Oh, it's an all boys school.
Yeah, an all boys astrology school.
That
Silly.
I mean, I don't know if it needs to be a whole
astrology
college.
Doesn't need to be gendered, but it seems to be.
It does seem to be, and it is a joke now that it's like you should study astrology stuff so that you know what your girlfriend is talking about or your wife.
It's menstruating, isn't it? You know, and not all there's some boys who menstruate, right?
Right.
And some people who menstruate that are not women, but like, you know, if the fucking moon was in charge of your ovaries,
right,
you'd pay attention also.
It moves the ocean, you know. So
I was new moon every year. I was new moon cycle. New moon, look out. Here she comes.
Yeah.
Then randomly switched. I was like late for 2 weeks because I switched to full moon.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I should actually pay more attention to what the moon is doing when I've been dates, you know, and I'm like, it's around the first of the month or whatever. But
most babes I know are full moon or new moon.
Interesting. I'll have to actually look. And it's funny because on my Fitbit watch here, the background is the moon, whatever phase the moon's in, it like tells me. So I would know, you know.
Wow, that's a really witchy Fitbit setting.
Thank you. Gotta pay attention, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey Siri, what's the best herb to use for a headache? That's like the new witch.
Yeah, the witch app. I'm sure. Are there any witch apps? Oh, that could be an idea.
There should be a witch app. I've been really waiting for a tarot app because like it would be such an easy thing to grab a card, you know, because it would just be a one and there's 78 cards in the tarot.
Yeah.
Some nerd.
Yeah.
Can make that so easily.
Everyone knows that about this show. We are idea people. No, you do it. Yeah. You do the work.
You think I've got time for coding? No, I'm smoking pot and coming up with these gems.
These amazing ideas. I'm on to the next thing here. We got a witch app. It would. I don't even know, but that would be.
Pull a tarot card. I think it would be like, here's your like a fun witch fact.
Oh, that's good.
Did you know that mugwort is great dried as well as fresh?
I did not know that. A good thing I have this app to tell me.
Did you know that the first witch was from Appleton, Wisconsin?
Nice.
That kind of thing.
I think the functionality doesn't even really matter quite as much as just having We need to start the movement, and then people can expand and make it better and better. Of having, because then once you have one witch app, it's like, well, we need to make another witch app because it's better.
Yeah. Don't worry about the UI right now.
No, I don't. Oh my goodness, I've had such a fun time. It's complicated, which it's already full force at this point in my life. I like the witch app though. That's been. It seems like it would be the most useful. What was in the middle? I've already forgotten.
It was here. I'll give you a auditory reminder. Ingu.
Oh, yeah. Oh, somebody got in front of me. Yes, it's the horns. The horns, and then I think that really expanded into being able to DM from car to car. Which on planes you can sometimes, and the older ones, you could message from seat to seat. You could do that.
That trivia is really fun too. Plane trivia.
Yeah. I need to play a game or be working on something on the plane. I'm not really. This is what happens no matter what. If I put a movie on my screen, I still watch somebody else's screen.
That's very funny.
If you're texting on a plane, I'm reading it. I just need you to know that. I'm always looking at everyone else's stuff.
Oh man, this is another good idea. Okay, one thing that I do is if I've got a long flight, I program a film festival. Or if I'm on a long drive, it'll be like a discography. So like one time, Portland to LA, I listened to the entire Erykah Badu catalog.
Nice.
One time on a flight from Portland to Barcelona, Spain, I watched all only Meryl Streep movies. It was little Meryl Streep.
That's awesome.
Film fest.
And then, because I heard somebody talking about this on a podcast the other day of doing like listening to a comedian who has multiple albums, like start from the beginning, and then you would hear them while their life progressed, but then also like them get better. And they were like, don't do it backwards because then you just listen to me get worse at stand up. But yeah, you could do the same thing with the stand up or podcast. Start at the beginning,
or fucking orchestras or something. I don't know,
whatever
like
you're into.
Yeah, you just like curate an experience, like a travel experience for yourself.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like, it comes in this audiobook series. It's like you make your own series. You do a Meryl Streep marathon.
The best.
That's a great idea.
Julia, Devil Wears Prada, just the hits.
Really a lot of variety, versatility in that, All right. If people want to find you, where can they find you? So they can follow you.
Bri Pruett, you got it. Yeah. It's on the screen. You can do it with Bri Pruett weekly podcast. You can grab that anywhere, any old place.
Any old place. You listen to the podcast. You're already doing it right now. Again, just search it right after this. You can do it. We believe in you. If you haven't already, subscribe, rate, review, those things to this podcast. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Join YouTube memberships. You get episodes of this show the night before, usually, and behind the scenes, and also full stand-up sets for me, and that's just a monthly membership fee. Anyways, it's worth it, I swear. I feel like that's all. We have such great ideas. Everybody go have a snack. Don't make it too complicated. And then you can just keep watching dumb pitches.
You're weird.
Yes.